Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into the weeds with the Nvidia Shield TV Pro, using the source material as our definitive guide.
Yeah, it's a really interesting device. The Shield Pro, I mean, it's known for juggling, four key things: high-end streaming, gaming, acting as a media server, and that AI upscaling feature. That's one we should probably kick off with.
Okay, yeah, let's jump right there. Because the AI upscaling, that feels like the real hook, the aha moment, you know? We know it does native 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, HDR10, the usual suspects.
Right.
But that AI part, for older stuff like standard def content, what does that actually do for the viewing experience? What's it feel like?
It feels, well, pretty transformative, honestly. The source material points out it's not just like blowing up the pixels. It's more like it's actively reconstructing the details that weren't there.
Reconstructing? How?
It makes lower res stuff look noticeably sharper, clearer, almost more dimensional.
Yeah.
It's analyzing the picture, predicting missing information, textures, and essentially rebuilding it on the fly.
Wow, okay. So if it's doing that kind of heavy lifting visually, plus the other three jobs, we need to talk about the engine under the hood. It must need some serious grunt, right? Otherwise, things would just grind to a halt.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking at the Tegra X1 Plus chip, and crucially, it's paired with a 256-core GPU and 3 gigs of RAM.
Ah, the RAM. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 GB is important. It means, jumping between apps feels instant, no lag. Everything stays responsive, smooth. You don't get that annoying stutter when you're just trying to navigate menus.
And that smoothness, that responsiveness, it's not just for menus, right? It must be key for the gaming side, too, which they really push.
Definitely.
But let's say for you listening, maybe you already have an Xbox Series X or a PS5. Why pay attention to the Shield's gaming? Isn't it just Android games?
Well, it's more than that. It's kind of like a triple threat. You've got cloud gaming through GeForce NOW, which is huge access to tons of PC games without needing the PC there.
Right, streaming them.
Exactly. Then, yeah, you do have the standard Android games. And then for the real enthusiasts, there's potential for local emulation. So it bridges casual and more serious gaming quite neatly. Less clutter than another big console box.
Okay, let's pivot then. What about media libraries? Lots of devices can run Plex, for your home media server.
Correct.
But what makes the Shield stand out if, say, you rely on a NAS drive full of your own movies and shows?
It comes back to that Tegra X1 Plus chip again. It's just really, really good at transcoding. That's converting complex high bitrate files from your NAS into something your TV can play smoothly.
So no buffering on those big 4K files, hopefully.
Exactly. For people with large personal collections, especially high-quality rips, the Shield just handles it, makes it a genuinely superior sort of media hub, not just another streaming stick.
Okay, practicalities, though. Connectivity. The source mentioned storage is only 16 gigs built in. That sounds tiny, especially if you're talking media server potential.
It is modest, yeah. But the save is the I/O, the connectivity. You get 2 USB 3.0 ports.
Ah, expansion.
Right, so you just plug in a big external hard drive or SSD, and boom, storage problem solved. Easy and fast. Plus, the networking is solid gigabit Ethernet for wired stability, good dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0. It's built to handle those hefty streams.
And you can't ignore the thing you actually touch every day, the remote. Sometimes they feel like an afterthought on these devices.
Yeah, but this one seems pretty well thought out. Practical stuff like voice search, genuinely useful for finding something across Netflix, Prime, whatever. Backlit buttons, small thing, but great when the lights are down. And it does both IR and Bluetooth, so it can control your TV power, your soundbar volume. One remote to rule them all, sort of.
So wrapping this up then, what's the core takeaway for you, the listener, if you're drowning in devices under your TV?
Then the Shield Pro is seriously worth a look. It's about consolidation, right? Getting one quite powerful AI-boosted box that competently handles your streaming, your gaming, and your personal media library.
Yeah, it cuts down the clutter but doesn't seem to compromise much on performance for those key tasks. Unified, high-performance multitasking, like you said earlier.
Exactly. It aims to be the single box that does pretty much everything you need and does it well.
Okay, so here's something to chew on. Building on what the source material kind of hints at. We see its power now, but what about the future? Think about newer video codecs like AV1 getting more common.
Good point.
Or maybe specific apps really optimized for that Tegra chip could unlock even more potential down the line. That capacity for growth, maybe that means this deep dive isn't really the final word, something to keep an eye on.